All right, here we are, and we keep going on the wheel with the right angle cross of penetration. And we start with the 4-6 profile. The 4-6. The 4-6 really get very quickly into the wrong relationships when they're young. Typical 4-6 wrong friendships. It's very difficult for the 4-6 on this cross to be able to fulfill the potential of its personality. They're not very good at continuing their relationships. They're very good at starting. As long as they stay on the edge in a voyeur configuration, that's okay, and it won't be a big deal. But the reality is that it's very difficult for them to grow and mature within a relationship. That means personal relationships as well, but particularly with their community or for influence group. It's something that is very difficult for them. They can only just penetrate. This is a deal you really want to live out in the foyer. The true foyer where you just penetrate through the peak. You don't get right in, you're really on the outside looking in. So in that sense, this could be something that is functional for them. But I personally feel that the 53, this cross is very, very difficult cross to carry. I have friends of mine, people I care about, who I've known in my life, who are on this cross, and I see how painful their life is. I have a friend of mine, he was born a couple of days before me, lives in Germany, and is somebody that I knew, particularly in my early years, and somebody who wasn't a designer. He was just something that came into my life at that time. He wanted to penetrate things deeply, and you could see that he was like a child with water wings on. On the child, you see a kid diving under the water, and the child wants to do the same thing, and it can't. Every time he tries to dive down the water, wings pull it back up. And I saw that he was starting all these different things. He was studying this, and he was looking at that, and he was looking at the other thing. He was very good at the surface. He had all these little surface bits, but the penetrating, he couldn't get there. And I could see that it was painful for him because he did not accept that not only is that what he is, but he has no right to go deeper. Everybody thinks that if you wake up some extraordinary depth. The gods have a much better sense of humor than that. You wake up to all the possibilities. You wake up to the possibility of being the perfection of shallow. What's wrong with the perfection of shallow? Nothing. It's the perfection of shallow. I find these people very cool. I'm not a moralist. I don't have any prejudice. If you can perfect the surface, it's just as beautiful as perfecting the depth. It's all the same movie. The moment that these beings understand that they don't need to get down to the root, they don't. The hell with that. Master what it is to be here. Be there on that surface. Master what it is to be able to penetrate perfectly, just a pinprick and nothing else. And how incredible valuable then these beings become. Incredibly valuable for others. It triggers them, gets them going, pushing them into starting something they can do. What a great force that they can be, and so on, in many unselfish, in their awake, and they will send others where they cannot go. This is Moses standing on the hill and pointing at the promised land. The promised land is that Moses could never live in, but the people could live in. That's a penetrator. It's a penetrator with grace. You open up the door and say, here we have a beginning. And by the way, if you want to know where I am, I'm going to be back here, opening doors. No, I don't want to come with you. I don't want to get into all this mucks. I want to stay up here on the surface where everything is full of light. It's bright and shiny. We can all pretend that it's really a beautiful Maya. That's what they are all about. Then the juxtaposition cross of beginnings. Forward. Juxtapositions are deeply pointed, obviously with their fixed fate, and when we can see that they don't carry the same underlying value or purpose that's expressed in the right angle research. There's a bridge. Their responsibilities are different. They just shout. Actually, they don't even shout. They're the ones at the race with the guns. They're funny people. They never run the race. Ever notice that? They just pull the trigger. Boom. Everybody off. Here you have them. This is what coming in on the left angle cross of beginnings is. That's the kid in the schoolyard that says, on your mark, get set, go. And everybody runs, and they don't. They'll line up with you. They'll sucker you in all right. Let's have a race. Everybody ready? All right. On your mark, get set, go. And everybody runs, and that kid is standing still. Perfect. Get going. They start your day. They start your life. They start your engine. They're the ones that are just there to say, look, I don't care. Just don't sit still, you idiot. Do something. It's the exact opposite of logic. This is life. Go out there and live your life. You can tell when you have somebody who's really strong here and they have a friend that they suffered a loss, a death in the family, their parents, somebody died, their lover died, whatever. This is the person that will come up to them and say, get over it, get on with your life, get going. Life is nothing but new beginnings. Stop lamenting. The lover they lost, the dog you lost, forget all that. It's gone. A new beginning. Everything is fresh. Let's go. Let's keep on moving. Keep moving. Pushy, pushy, pushy. Civilization is like that. This quarter sort of, yeah, okay, you know that, but you can see now how tied we are to the wheel. Lashed to the wheel, super glued to the wheel. This is the form principle. It can be so cruel if you're not correct. It's why human design is so liberating, because it liberates you from the constraints of the form. You don't have to struggle with the form. You can simply go along with it and allow it its way. Thank you very much.